Now, I have been asking all over the internet what is the most broken build in 2K history, and the one build that has generated the most passionate responses is the 7-foot stretch 4 from NBA 2K19. Now, in today's video, we are going to do our best to recreate that build on NBA 2K24 and see if it is still amazing today. Now, this is part 2 of a multiple part series, so if you want to go back and watch part 1, there will be a link to it at the end of this video as well as in this video's description. Now, before I show you guys how I made this build on NBA 2K24, we need to go back to NBA 2K19 so I can show you guys how insane this build is. Now, in NBA 2K19, there was one build that was better than everything else, and that was the 7-foot pure stretch 4 that can shoot pretty much any shot it wanted to. Because of the contest system on 2K19, you could pretty much shoot shots in people's faces and they would still say they're either open or lightly contested. And even after the shooting patch, you could still hit heavily contested shots on these stretch bigs, making them one of the most broken builds ever. Now, when making this build on NBA 2K24, we're going to be going with the power forward position. Height is going to be 7 foot, weight's going to be 225 pounds with a 7-foot wingspan. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to make this build, and then we're going to get to the gameplay. So starting things off in the finishing, we have an 80 driving layup just so we can get some layup packages on this build, 65 driving dunk and an 81 standing dunk. I did not want to put a whole lot into finishing on this build because, again, this is a pure stretch 4. And now moving on to the shooting, we're going to have a 93 mid-range shot as well as an 86 3-point shot. So on this build, you're going to have the best shooting possible on a 7-foot build, which gets you badges like blinders, deadeye on gold, guard up on Hall of Fame, and catch and shoot on Hall of Fame. Now moving on down to the playmaking, you get an 86 pass accuracy on this build for break start on gold, a 69 ball handle, which gets you handles for days on bronze. You also can get a couple of escape packages on this build as well, like the Giannis escape, as long as you are a starter 3. And now moving on to the defense, we're going to have a 77 interior defense, a 92 block, which gets you gold anchor, maxed out perimeter defense, a 60 steal for bronze interceptor, and an 85 defensive rebound for silver rebound chaser and gold box out beast. And now moving down to the physicals, we have a maxed out speed at 71, an 84 strength to make sure we get that gold box out beast, an 80 vertical so we can get gold chase down artist, and a 97 stamina. All right, so now the build is complete, and when coming out of the My Player Builder, you are going to get the shades of Evan Mobley, Derek Coleman, and Paolo Banchero, and you are going to get the build name Spot Up Threat. Now, unfortunately, the name Stretch 4 and Stretch 5 is not in the NBA 2K24, so we cannot get those names. Now, the one thing that made Stretch Big so broken was the jump shot, and back on NBA 2K19, every Stretch Big was using jump shot 11 for the most part. Although we don't have numbered jump shots on NBA 2K24, I personally think the best jump shot for this type of build is the Chris Bosh base. Now, the bases are going to be Franz Wagner and Marquise Chris, and you can use however blend you want with this build, but I ended up pretty much just taking this from a Joe Knows video, and it ended up being a really good jump shot. So hey, shout out to Joe, shout out to Javi, whoever's using this on his team. It's a really good jumper. But now let's get to the gameplay. Here's the first game right here. Score 7-7 with about a minute left in the first. Now, in a lot of these situations, I will be running the fast break. It's not necessarily cherry picking, but if I see that the big man has secured the board and he's a good rebounding build, then I can pretty much just run the break if I want to. And look at this right here. We're hitting a 40% contested 3 on this stretch. Now, this game was pretty close to when I first made the build, so I don't even really have all my badges maxed out on this build just yet. But when I tell you, when this build is fully maxed out, you could shoot some crazy shots on this build. But hey, here's a playmaking clip right there as well. Now, I do this with every single video related to this concept, so I want you guys to give me your opinion down below. What do you guys think is the most broken build in 2K history? And if a lot of people say one specific build, we will definitely do a video for it. Now, if you do want my personal opinion, I do think that the 19 stretch bigs are the most broken build in 2K history. But to provide a little bit of context to that as well, I never actually played NBA 2K19. As a matter of fact, my first 2K was NBA 2K21 current gen. But when I'm saying a build from an older 2K is the best build of all time, it's generally from an outsider's perspective, but I have asked a lot of people about this, my close friends, some other content creators, and a lot of people want to say it was the 7-foot stretch 4s. Now, in my honest opinion, this is the best chance we've had since 2K19 to be able to make a pure stretch like this and shoot contested shots consistently. Maybe the only other year that it could have been possible was on 2K22, specifically next gen, because of how easy the shooting was that year. But this is the one year in a good while where if you know your jump shot timing, you can green red contested shots pretty consistently. And in order to really get the max potential of this build, you kind of have to make it as a pure stretch, not like last year where you could go minimum wingspan, max out the 3-point shot, and then kind of just put your midi wherever. This year, if you want to get the really good shooting badges on a big build like this, you have to max out your mid-range shot as well, because that gets you badges like blinders and deadeye on gold, guard up on Hall of Fame, catch and shoot Hall of Fame. Like, those are essential badges to have on a stretch big, and in order for you to really maximize your potential, you need to max out your mid-range shot and three-point shot on this build. But now let's get back to the gameplay. Score is 82-48 in the fourth quarter. We're up a whole lot right now. I have 28 points. Actually, make that 31 because we're cashing out another three-point shot right there. And as you can see, we ended up finishing with 31 points and we shot 64% from three on this first game. And this was a really good game too, because not only did we just hit a bunch of open shots, but we hit some contested shots as well. We hit that 40% from three. We hit a couple opens as well. I mean, we're just shooting over that guy right there. I didn't even remember that I didn't finish with 31. I finished with 34 because I shot that three on the final seconds of that game. But now moving on to game two, we already have 2 points in this game. And right here, we're just playing a little bit of defense on the wing. He goes with a midi fade right there. Not a great shot selection right here off the catch. We're just going to fire this immediately. Listen, if somebody doesn't have a hand up in your face as you catch the ball to shoot it, it's going to be an open shot. Now, another example of a wide open shot that you guys might have seen in this video already is if somebody goes for a passing lane steal as like you're about to catch the ball, and let's just say they don't get the passing lane steal and you catch it, you're going to have a wide open shot off of that because they went for the passing lane steal, and that animation is going to completely take them out of the play, and you can pretty much just shoot over them because they're not going to be able to put a hand up after going for the lane steal. Now, as you could probably see in the top right hand corner of the screen, I actually started out this game 2 for 6 from 3, but I promise you from here on out we are not going to miss a single shot for the rest of the game, which includes your threes. But again, back to the gameplay right here, running on the break because my center has been really good at grabbing the rebounds, so I'm just going to run the break because I think he can get them all, and there's no need for me to crash the rebounds as well. And now you can see we have 17 points. We're shooting 50% from 3. And on the fast break, once again right here, catch, shoot, and it's going to go right in. 20 points. We're shooting 56% from 3, so we're shooting a lot better from 3 now. 11 seconds left in the half. Running the break once again. I got sharp take. Center's going to kick it out to me. It's kind of from deep, but we catch, shoot, goes right on in. That's actually limitless range as well. Now take a look at this right here. Again, center's grabbing the rebound. We're running the break right here to the left wing. We're going to catch, fire this immediately. Now this is going to be a 13% contested 3, but we ended up still making. We got 26 points. We're shooting 64% from the field. We can still work in that mid-range area as we do right there with that KD dribble pull-up. But now let's talk about the downsides of this build. And this build is not perfect. There are a lot of problems with this build, mainly considering the fact that you are a 7-foot stretch big, but the fastest jump shot speed you can really use on these builds is normal shot release speed. If I go just 2-3 inches shorter, I can be on a 6'9", have the same shooting ratings with better jump shots and faster animations. And you guys know how that Tracy McGrady base is. That lets you shoot over people, under people, around people, contested, yellows, reds, does not matter. So there's a lot of instances where the 7-foot stretch is cool, but I'd rather just be on a 6'9" with the same ratings and better animations. But that is going to be pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this second part of this series. And again, if you want to watch part 1, the link should pop up to that right now. And again, comment down below what build you guys want to see as part of this series. I will start working on that next video as soon as possible. I'm out of here, man. Peace.